Here is your step-by-step guide to buy a home in 2025. My name is Andrew Augustiniak of the Augustiniak Lending Team, and today I'm gonna break it down and give you the step-by-step guide on what to do, who to call, all the different steps if you are finally looking to buy a home in 2025. All right, so what people don't understand is they start going on Google, they start looking up this, they start going to their banking account website, they don't know who they're talking to. I see it all the time. I work with a lot of investors too who would like to buy properties out of state, but they don't know who to call and where to start. Well, here we go. We're going to break it down for you. The first thing that you need to do to buy a home in 2025 is you need to call us to get approved. And I say call us because we do loans in 45 different states. If we don't do a loan in a state that you're looking to buy in, then still call us and we'll refer you out to one of our friends who do loans in those states. But first step is to get pre-approved. What does that look like, Andrew? I'm scared. I don't know where to start. And that's okay, because no matter where you are and when you want to buy a home, you have to develop a baseline, because two things will happen when you fill out that mortgage application to get pre-approved. We're going to review your file and we're either going to say, hey, you're good to go. Here's what you're pre-approved for. Here's any programs that you're pre-approved for. Here's your minimum down payment required. If you qualified for assistance, if you're using a VA loan, 0 down, whatever that may be, we're going to tell you, hey, you're good to go. Here's your approval letter. Go get with your agent, which is what I'll tell you is the next step. But we're either going to tell you you're pre-approved, and we're going to review your income, assets, and credit. Don't stress about where your credit is. Don't stress about anything, because the biggest mistake people make is they assume that they can't get qualified. So they never do, as opposed to having us look at it. So I'm going to review income, credit, assets. I'm going to tell you, hey, you're pre-approved for how much, what program, all that fun stuff. Or I'm going to say, hey, you're not pre-approved as of right now, but here's why. And then we're going to take that why and we're going to develop a game plan how to get pre-approved in 3, 6, 9, maybe 12 months, depending on your situation. Sometimes it's as little easy as paying off a little credit card just to get pre-approved. So sometimes it can take a week. But the key is for me to give you a baseline of where to start and where you are now, where you're going to start, and a plan of how to get there. Most people will be like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get pre-approved. But it doesn't work like that. There has to be a certain game plan based on your situation. So first step is getting pre-approved. The next step, let's say you're pre-approved, you're ready to go. I've reviewed income, assets, credit. You have an understanding of how much cash you need to buy this house. Your next step is to choose a real estate agent. If you have one, great. If you need a referral, we probably have one. But the next step is to get with that real estate agent. Make sure you're working with somebody that you like, that you work well with. I mean, you're going to see homes with this person. You're going to spend some time with them, and you want to know that you want them to know what your strategy is. You know, what your comfort level is. Are they available? Do they own their own home? Maybe, get to know them and choose a real estate agent that fits well with you and with what your goals are. The next step is with that agent, you're going to start looking for a home. So you're going to give that agent all your home wants and needs, your parameters, where you want to be, what location, what school district, 2-story, 1-story, do you want a pool, do you not want a pool, all those different things. And they're going to set you up on a search specific to those parameters where you guys can choose homes to go look at together, okay? So once you find that perfect home, you're out shopping, you narrowed it down, you said, hey, there's the home that we want. Now, keep in mind, my best piece of advice in this step when you're out home shopping is to not overanalyze and not to try and find the perfect house that checks every single box, because the reality is probably isn't a home that checks every single box you have, but you have to find one that checks as many boxes as possible, because if you expect a home to check every single box, then you're going to waste 5 years and you're never going to find it. Then you're going to regret not buying a home earlier. So let's say you find a house. We're on to the step of finding a house. Then you're going to get with your agent and decide what your offer is. You're going to figure out what purchase price you want to go in at. What's your bottom line? Your agent may start at X, but you're going to tell them, hey, this is the lowest, this is the Y we'll go to. And you guys are going to start negotiating your offer. You might go back and forth a few times. You might have the seller, counter you. You might counter the seller, but hopefully at the end of that negotiation, you guys are in contract to buy your home, okay? That brings us to the next step. Your next step, once that occurs, is you're going to call us and you're going to let us know, hey, our offer was accepted. We came to an agreement, and your agent is going to send us over your contract, and we're going to get that loan in process. As we start getting the loan in process, your agent and you will then go through the home inspection stage. This is where your agent, you, and the home inspector will go look at the structural integrity of the property. Is there mold? Is there anything broken? Is there things that need to be repaired? They're going to make sure, and you're going to make sure that the house you're buying is, behind the walls or anywhere else that you can't see, that there's no hidden secrets that could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And with that home inspection, if there are things that are broken, that gives you an opportunity to negotiate the seller to potentially repair those imperfections or compensate you in lieu of those repairs, okay? So while we're getting the loan process going, doing all of our paperwork behind the scenes, getting your loan into underwriting and all that fun stuff, you're going to be getting the inspection done. Once the inspection is done, you're going to move on to the appraisal stage, where we as a lender are going to order an appraisal to make sure the price that you're paying for the home is worth what you're paying for it, to protect both you and the lender. We can't lend based on more than what the home is actually worth. So while the inspection, the appraisal is going, we behind the scenes as a lender are getting your loans processed. We're getting it through underwriting. We're getting insurance figured out. We're getting every little aspect of the loan finalized for an underwriter to final approve your loan. Once that occurs, you have already gone through the inspection, you've gone through your appraisal, you've gotten us all the paperwork, and your loan is now what we call clear to close, which allows you to sign final loan documents, go to the title company, they might send a mobile notary to you, and you will sign your final loan document. And then once that occurs and it records with the county, your realtor will present you with the keys, and you have now become a homeowner. If you guys have any questions, or you want to learn more, or even get pre-approved to see what you guys can qualify for, my name's Andrew Augustiniak of the Augustiniak Lending Team, and I'm here to answer all your questions.